Okay, on this video, I'm going to show you how we can compute a sample standard deviation using a Texas Instrument TI-30XA calculator. This is one of the older models, but I believe it is still available for you to purchase at the stores. I like this because this one is very simple. Simple meaning it's easy to use. All right, it's not as powerful as some of the later models, but it will do the job that we needed to compute. Okay, and the data that I'm going to use, actually, if that looks familiar, it should, because this is identical data that I used in one of my previous videos, where I computed the sample mean of these 7 data. Okay, x1 through x7, we found the sample mean was 4.0 and sample standard deviation was about 1.91. So let's see if we can obtain same result by using this calculator. All right. Okay. One of the important things that you need to do is, whenever using a calculator, is to make sure that there are no data that is already stored in the calculator. That could happen if you or someone else were using this calculator to compute some statistical measures and did not delete them. Delete meaning delete the data. Okay, so one of the things on this calculator that you need to do is, first of all, turn it off and then turn it on. Okay, that way your data should be all cleared. Okay, and there's another way to verify that your data that you enter are the only ones that this calculator uses to do the computation. Okay, so first thing is, let me just direct you to several keys that you do need to use. First is this key right here. Okay, this is, if you recall, this is a Greek capital letter sigma plus. Okay, we use this to enter data, right? And the second one is, these two should be familiar. Second key, so I'm going to use kind of small, is the second function of x squared, which is this. Okay, if you look carefully, that's supposed to be x bar. That's kind of hard to see. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, that's supposed to be x bar, but that's supposed to be the sample mean, same symbol as this. Okay, so later, after we enter the data, we press this, and that should give us 4.0. And then the more all important key, the sample standard deviation, and that's right here. Okay, so that's the second function of the square root x key. Okay, I know that symbol actually is not statistically correct symbol, because remember the Greek sigma is supposed to represent parameter, but here the way they use this is for the sample. And is there a key for population? Yes, that's this one right here. Okay, but remember, we rarely would compute this. So basically 3 keys, this one here, and then this, the x bar, and then this. Okay, and remember, anytime that you want to utilize this secondary function, you do have to press second. Okay, so let's begin. Alright, so here is our data. Okay, so first I'm going to enter 1, since that's our first data, so press 1. Okay, and each time that you enter data, you must press this sigma plus. Okay, and what it will show you is, this is very important, n, that's supposed to be n. Remember, n represents the number of data point, n is equal to 1. Okay, if that doesn't show 1, that means you have some other data that is stored. So you have to start over by turning off and turning on again. Okay, so it's important that you do have that 1. Again, that 1 does not equal this value 1. This 1 represents, that's the first data. Okay, 2. Let's press 2. Press this sigma plus again. And that should show us n is equal to 2. Again, that means second data. Okay, 4. Sigma plus 3. Okay, so that means that's your third data. Okay, let's keep on going down. 4 again. Sigma plus 5. Sigma plus 6. Sigma plus, and 6 again. Sigma plus. Okay, that should be our last. N is equal to 7. Right, so we entered all 7 data. Okay, So just 2 more buttons and that'll give us our result. First, the sample mean of 4.0. Let's pray that that's what we get. So again, the key is right here. So we're going to press second first, second, and then this x squared. And that gives us the 4. Okay, that has to equal this 4. Okay, and if you remember, the standard deviation that we computed earlier was this. Okay, has a repeating, has a non-terminating, non-repeating decimal, 1.9148, going on forever. Okay, so to get that, let me just bring this down, just so you can see this. Right. So again, that we need to utilize this function. So I'm going to press a second and square root x. And it's giving me this value. Okay, not that clear. Hope you can see this. Okay, that value is equal to 1.9148. Okay. All right. So that's pretty much it. Okay. Let me just go one more step. Remember, we briefly discussed the variance. Okay. There is no button in the calculator that'll give you variance automatically. But if you remember the relationship between standard deviation and the variance, and the variance is nothing more than square of the standard deviation. Variance is the radicand of this whole radical. Okay, so how do you get the variance? Well, nothing more than take this and square it. If you square it, that should give you so-called the radicand, which is a fraction of 11 over 3. Okay, so let's try that. X squared, 3.6666 repeating. Is that same as 11 over 3? Yes, it is. How do you verify that? Well, if that is supposed to equal to 11 over 3, what happens if we multiply that by 3 times 3? Should give us 11. Okay. All right. So again, that's variance, which is not all that important for us this semester. Okay. So that's it for getting a sample standard deviation using this TI-30XA. Okay.